Good morning everyone. Today we are going to learn about thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is a butterfly-shaped gland located in our neck just below the larynx. It is an endocrine type of gland which produces two important hormones, the T3, also known as triiodothyronin, and T4, which is also called as thyroxine.
Now let's see what are these hormones and what is their role in our body.
First, we will learn how are these hormones produced. What are the signals that stimulate the increase and decrease in their production?
So everything starts from the brain.
The hypothalamus contains paraventricular nuclei which secretes thyrotropin releasing hormone. These TRH stimulates a specific type of cell in the interior pituitary called thyrotropes.
Now these thyrotropes start releasing thyroid stimulating hormone into the blood. Then these thyroid stimulating hormones are transported toward the thyroid gland, specifically the follicular cells of thyroid gland. The thyroid stimulating hormone is a peptide hormone, so its receptors are present on the cell membrane at the base of follicular cells.
Now, as the TRH binds to its receptor, a secondary messenger called CCAMP is produced inside the cell, which activates an enzyme protease kinase A. This protein kinase A phosphorylates the transcription factor present on the DNA and produces a protein called thyroglobulin, which exits the cell from the apical side and gets stored in the colloid.
Now for all these reactions to occur, we need iodine, specifically iodide. The problem is we have a high concentration of iodide inside the cell, comparatively lower concentration in the blood.
Now, to take anything away from the concentration gradient, that is from lower concentration to higher concentration, we need ATP or energy. Thankfully, we have sodium. Iodide imports with sodium inside the cell. All these occurs at the base of the follicular cells. This import indirectly uses ATP, which is also termed as secondary active transport.
Now, this iodide travels through the cell and reaches the apical side. There is a protein on the apical side called pendrin which pumps these iodide into the colloid. There is an enzyme named thyroid peroxidase present in the colloid.
As the iodide enters the colloid, these enzymes oxidize iodide to iodine. After oxidizing iodide, these enzymes also help in iodination of tyrosine. Tyrosine is the amino acid present in thyroglobulin. If one iodine is added to tyrosine, it is called MIT. If 2 is added, it forms DIT. So if MIT adds up with DIT, we get T3 or triiodothyronin. If DIT adds up with another DIT, we get thyroxine or T4. Through endocytosis, the thyroglobulin enters back into the cell and the vesicle binds with lysosome. The T3 and T4 formed previously were bind together. This lysosome separates the T3 and T4 and these hormones are released into the blood. 80% volume of the thyroid hormone produced is T4. Whereas the more active form of thyroid hormone is T3. But eventually, large amount of T4 gets converted to T3 by a process called deiodination. The enzyme used in this reaction is 5' deiodinase. This enzyme removes iodine from the 5' end of amino acid tyrosine. Increasing number of thyroid hormone gives a negative feedback to the hypothalamus and decrease the production of thyroid hormone. Okay guys, I think we have pretty much learned how the thyroid hormones are produced and what causes the increase and decrease in their production. Now let's look at some target organs. Thyroid hormones have many target organs. Some of them are liver, muscles, adipose tissue, heart, and skin. Thyroid hormone increase the metabolic rate of our body and burn more ATP. So, to burn a large amount of ATP, we need more and more ATP production. Thyroid hormone stimulate liver cells to produce glucose, and glucose helps in ATP production. Thyroid hormone maintain the overall metabolism of muscles. So, if a condition of hyperthyroidism occurs, the balanced metabolism shifts towards the increased catabolism. And if a condition of hypothyroidism occurs, the process shifts towards anabolism. When thyroid hormones are acted upon adipose cells, they break down the cells and produce glycogen, which is eventually converted to glucose inside the liver. Thyroid hormone increase the heart rate, increase the cardiac output, and also increase the blood pressure. So as the thyroid hormone increases the metabolic rate of our body, the temperature is also increased, which leads to sweating of our skin. There is one more hormone produced by the thyroid gland called calcitonin. Calcitonin helps in maintaining the plasma calcium level. As plasma calcium levels are increased, calcitonin helps in removing excess calcium from the plasma and deposit it on bone. These were the major functions of thyroid gland and its hormones. Thank you for listening.